look, there's a piece going around. There's a piece of artwork that we're led to believe was made by the UFC. And it's of Chimaev and Kamaru Usman. Now, I don't know that anybody started the Chimaev-Kamaru Usman rumor, or I don't think you'd call it a hype train, you'd call it a wish train. Boy, I wish we could have that fight. I don't think anybody was stronger than us right here. And, I mean, this was really sought after. Kamaru Usman versus Chimaev. And let's take a real good look at this, because now we've got a poster that we're led to believe is artwork released by the promotion itself. That would be an announcement. That would be an announcement. But in today's world, where copycats are so prevalent and quite frankly so easy to do, we do have to wonder and we do have to question. When this art comes out and there's not a text along with it, or it's not from an account of validity, what do we have here? Now, let's just back this up, guys. A number of years ago, Chimaev, 24 years old, fastest rising star, darling of the media, the replacement to the king, Khabib himself, in a championship fight against Kamaru Usman, the first guy to ever be compared skill-wise in the welterweight division with Georges St. Pierre. The world did want to see that. But we were told that Chimaev hasn't proved it. Chimaev hasn't done enough. Chimaev is only 24 years old. Those impressive wins that Chimaev had were not against opponents that were ranked high enough. They were not against potential contenders, and therefore, talk of that match needs to stop. And it did. And now here we are with nobody asking about the fight, and it seems as though we're closer than ever to booking the match. Now, even though nobody's calling for it, that's a great fight, isn't it? Oh, wow. Kamaru Usman versus Chimaev? Never thought that would be possible. We accepted the fact that Chimaev had not done enough to fight for a world championship, and Kamaru was the world champion. Well, now he's not. We also take a good look at Chimaev, who we recognize could be a top contender and challenge for titles, but I thought he left weight classes and went up to 185. So on the poster and the announcement today, that is artwork that at a minimum is counterfeit to that of the UFC. We have Chimaev and Usman, and we're left to guess, is this real? The one other hint that we're given is that it's at welterweight, and for that reason only, I am confident to tell you it is not real. That is counterfeit. I do not think that Chimaev would pull down to 170 to fight Kamaru Usman, even though he and his team have said, if you give us enough time, we can do that. I don't think that he would do that unless it was a number one contenders match. And a number one contenders match in the 170-pound division seems like the most unlikely place that we need a number one contender, because we have one. His name is Colby Covington. I thought we had a backup to the backup, which is Muhammad. That's what I thought we were told. And I thought we were told that to the point that Rakhmonov, who is easily the most impressive record in the entire sport, isn't even sure if he's going to be fighting on a main card in his next match. Right? Like we've got the backup, and we've got the backup to the backup as far as number one contender goes, to the point that the guy that's 16-0 with 16 finishes isn't even speaking up at this point. So it's really hard for me to believe that somebody is going to come into town or come into the division and disrupt it. Oh, by the way, what happens if Kamaru Usman wins? I mean, what happens if you make Usman versus Chimaev? Have we agreed that we've just made the number one contenders match? Can we agree that? Can we agree that that would trump any other number one contenders match that we currently have out there? Regardless of anything we've ever said, if we make that match, do we agree a prize of contendership goes to the winner? Of course we do. Well, what if that winner is Kamaru Usman? Do you want to put Kamaru in there with Leon for the fourth time? Do you want to put Kamaru in there with Colby for the third time? Perhaps. Perhaps you do. But that's a question you have to ask yourself. And then what happens with Chimaev? If he goes in against either Leon or Colby, what do we do with Blahal? And when we're trying to figure that whole thing out, what happens to Rakhmonov, who by then is going to be 17 and or 18-0? Or would it make more sense? Everybody take a deep breath. And if Kamaru Usman wants to fight Chimaev the way that we're told that he does, he's going to do it at 185 pounds. And it will be a contendership match. The winner will go on and fight for the belt. And Kamaru Usman has made it very clear he doesn't want to fight with Adesanya for some very deep and well-respected reasons. So if you're predicting that Usman is going to fight Chimaev. I think you're wise to predict that's going to be at 185 pounds. The problem with doing that is the prize if you win. And I haven't heard anything yet. I have not been convinced or pulled in any direction that question and even that problem has yet to be solved.